This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
You're listening to INC Radio.
Broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois. DZEM 954 AM station. Here to bring you great conversations about faith, people, places, culture, and recent events all around the district. Join us on YouTube at INCRadio.org. Hello, Northern Midwest and the rest of the world. It's time to get this show started.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to INC Radio Northern Midwest. And today we're talking about getting stuff done, which I don't know that we all do all the time, but we'll figure it out together through our discussion today. I'm Tony Valenzuela, and I have some of my friends here with me, EJ and Abe. We're all from throughout the Midwest, so hopefully we'll be able to share a good conversation, not just with each other, but even those who are there in the live chat. Please share your insights because I think this can be challenging. We hear the words like procrastination a lot. No, like I put off the thing, I didn't do the thing yet, I still have to do the rest of the thing. Like,
I think my family would know me as a notorious procrastinator.
notorious, not even just a procrastinator, notorious. That sounds terrible.
A little bit. It's like I get. It's not like I don't get stuff done, but I usually, it's like pulling teeth. It's like when it comes to getting stuff done. But I still get them done on time. By the way, I still get them done on time. It's just like I'm
last minute.
More I do things last minute mostly.
At least you can get things done on time. Like for me, like I'll get them done, but if there's no like deadline to it, then I kind of work at my own pace until someone's like, "Oh, we're expecting this," and then I'll be like, "Oh," and then rush to get things done. But I will get them done too, eventually.
Eventually. Do you guys do weird things to get stuff done? Like, is there ways that you kind of motivate yourself, or just these little things that I know some people like to listen to music to help get them stuff done. It gets them moving, motivated. Some people need like total silence. Do you have anything weird like that's unique to you?
For me, that's like I would this is what I do. Like if I were to eat in like let's say a meal, like it would be snacks. I would put snacks. If you guys don't know where my setup is, like the kitchen table is like over there, like just behind my setup. So I would put snacks, and like I'll be like, once I get this thing done, I can have my snacks
within view, within like
within
line
view.
of sight.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, after this, I'll eat my snacks. Or if it's like a meal, like I'll put all the ingredients on the table already. So I'm like, after I get this thing done, I can get to cooking, my meal, like my food. I get to enjoy, something. It's kind of like, what do you call it? Something on like, like how you kind of reward yourself for doing something. It's like that.
Food.
Yeah. I am food motivated, and guess if it's something where I can turn half my brain off, I like having like a podcast or like an audiobook, like off to the side, just so it's like I don't feel stuck, because that's what I feel sometimes, where it's totally silent and I'm trying to get things done. Like if it's total silence, it kind of feels stuck sometimes. So I like having like a podcast or like an podcast, and it helps me work.
No, I'm very similar. For me, it'll either be music that like I've already like replayed over and over and over, or I will have on kind of like what EJ's saying, like podcasts or just episodes of like TV shows that again I've seen already over and over and over, so that I don't have to look at my phone or like at a separate screen. so that I can, concentrate on what I have to do. So it is kind of like um, background noise in a sense. Like I can't work in complete silence either. So I will need to have something. So like I guess similarly to how EJ was mentioning, wherein um, I need to have something going on, whether that's music or movies, right? Or but again, doesn't need my active focus.
Hmm.
Then I can work on the thing that I need to get done.
So obviously not for everything. I feel like there's certain things that could totally derail you in
Yeah, like
if you're
if
not
it's something
careful.
that requires total focus, then yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
No. Like for me, I
Example?
have to.
Any example that would
If I'm
require
trying to
total
memorize
focus for
something,
you?
like if I have to
Mm,
memorize something, uh, but what I do though, because I know myself, and I know that at some point, if I try to spend a lot of time trying to memorize something, my mind's gonna drift at some point. And it's not gonna be beneficial anymore. So what I do is like, what do you call that studying technique where you study for like you study for 30 minutes and then you take like breaks and like
Pomodoro.
Yes.
Pomodoro, yeah, yeah. Where you take breaks in between. That's what I do. Like take breaks in between. If I have to totally focus on like what like I'm doing, I take breaks just so it doesn't feel like such a super long length of
Yeah.
time.
Are you good at sticking to those breaks? Like,
I am. I
okay,
am.
good.
I'm pretty strict with myself when it comes to sticking to those breaks.
Disciplined. Disciplined.
I wouldn't call discipline because there's still that part of my brain where it's like, like maybe just 5 more minutes, maybe just another episode. For me like I'll just preview it. I'll just watch the first the first few minutes of this episode, then I'll come back. Like like there's still that feeling, that temptation of like, like wanting to kind of just like I'll just preview it. I'm not gonna watch the entire episode.
Okay.
But I have to like I'm telling myself you have to stick to this schedule because like this is what I do. If I spend more time than I said I would like on a break, I have to add that time to like the next like the next session.
Okay. Brother Noel agrees with the accomplishment completion reward. I feel like that works with a lot of people. It just
Mm.
depends on what you're rewarding yourself with. Like some people, it might be a nap. Some people, it might be, a treat. I personally like going for my favorite beverage. If I reward myself something from, a coffee place, or I'm like, I'll treat myself to some coffee today, like something fancier, nicer than usual, than the typical thing. Does it always work? Your methods, your different methods, does it always work? Is it 100%
It's
effective?
not like
And what do you do when it's not 100% effective?
it's not 100% perfect. And I have to say like and I think this is a kind of like a mindset thing for me sometimes when I fail to kind of like adhere to that schedule, to like this thing that I've set. Like it's not like what do you call it? Like you're not punishing yourself for it, because I feel like for me personally, okay, if I do that, it just like what demotivates
Worsens,
unmotivates.
demotivates you,
Yeah, it
demotivates.
just demotivates me more.
Yeah.
It's like I have to just kind of like, okay, you know what, you weren't able to stick to your schedule. Just next time, do your best to stick to it. Like because it's past. Like if I wasted time, then that time's already wasted. There's no way for me to kind of fix that. So it's just like, okay, just for next time, try to stick to it. I don't like punishing myself like for like not being able to adhere to my schedule 100%. Like it's
With
just
gentleness,
mhm,
kindness,
giving yourself
grace,
grace for it,
compassion.
for not being able to keep up with it. But and it's like like it helps me. That's just for me personally. Like, that's what motivates me. And then
Because I feel like if you
that what's
overcorrect, if you
Mhm.
overcorrect, then you just don't feel inspired at all.
Yeah,
Like
you kind of
overcorrect
dread it
yourself.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of dread it more because you're like, oh, if I'm not able to do this, then I have to punish myself for it. Like,
You just get into a spiral. You get into a spiral of
Mhm.
like, oh, you weren't able to do the thing, and now you'll never be able to finish it, and then just get this run of negative thoughts. Like, how did we get here? Like, I
They
was
were
just
right about me.
No, but like you were saying, that's a good mindset to have. Though is like not to dwell on like those negatives. Like what you were
yeah.
saying, EJ, right? It's like to, like next time I'll be able to like I'll learn from my mistakes and
Mhm.
work on it the next time I have to accomplish this task. I mean, like that's kind of how I work too. Wherein, with things that I have to get done, if it has been something like I've done before, like I need to get done before, like a chore maybe, or like maybe for like the kids out there, like you got to clean your room, right? But knowing that like I was able to get it done at like in a certain time frame maybe, or to the condition that I had it, that's also like a motivator. It's kind of like you've done it before, you can do it again. So with things that may be like unfamiliar to me, I'm like a little more hesitant to start because
Yeah.
there's not to dwell on it with those like possibilities of like, oh, you don't know what's gonna happen, and then you get into your head about all the things that could go wrong. But um, just how I work personally, if it is something that I have been able to get done, that is like a motivational factor for me, knowing that I did accomplish it in the past and that, I will be able to get it done the next time around. So,
Somebody
That's an
said,
interesting question. Oh, go ahead, EJ.
oh,
What did they
sorry,
say?
somebody said something about having accountability partner.
Yes, I did see that. I wanted to read it from Conwell. That's a good thing to do. It doesn't always work because sometimes your accountability buddy could you have to find someone who's either more intense than you or more disciplined than you
I
because
was
if you're
gonna,
both the same
yeah, I
vibes,
was gonna say that.
like they're just like I'm kind of tired today, and they're like, yeah, I know, me too.
Me
And then
too.
you're just like,
That's kind of
what
like
happened?
the downside of it. Like if they're not motivated, you're not.
Yeah. You have to be kind of different. I feel like one of you has to be more intense about it. So just so
Yeah.
that like the term like hinihila, like they're kind of like getting you like, no, come on, we said we're gonna do this. Like you don't even necessarily have to want it, but you're just kind of pushing yourself like, no, we said we're gonna do it, holding yourself accountable and the other person. But yeah, I love accountability buddies. Kind of well, that's a great point. But I did want to ask more about what Abe was mentioning because that I didn't think about that too. It's hard to get things done in general, but getting something done that you've never done before, that's also like scary. So how do you work yourself through that process? Whether it's like I know a lot of people like at the beginning of the year, one of the things that they like to do is start the gym. And that can be so intimidating, right? Because you just go to this place that's full of all of these people who are fit and they look great and you're just like,
Mhm.
here we go.
I
And
mean,
then how do you start?
like
How do you push yourself?
when you were talking about the gym though, like part of, I guess, if you're talking about the beginning of the year when people have that goal, right, to
Hmm.
lose weight, I mean, in that scenario, you're not alone in that. Actually, like you do have other people
No.
who are setting the same goal as you. So maybe
Yeah.
in that circumstance, like you're not alone in that, so you don't have to feel like you're conquering it
Mhm.
alone. Like there's other
I
people who are
told
in your shoes.
Yeah, I told someone before, like I don't want to go to like a public gym.
Mhm.
Like I would rather have like an what do you call it? Like
Like at
home,
home,
like
like a
home
home
gym,
gym.
at home gym. Yeah, like I just want to do it because I feel like I'll be intimidated if I try to go to like a public gym because you have all these people who are fit
It's real.
and
Yeah, that's
this
what
is
I
what
was
they
getting
told
at.
me. This is what they told me. They said, "Why do you think they're there for?"
Mhm.
True.
Like, what do you think they're there for? They're there for the same reason you are.
It's real.
Good
You know,
mindset. Yeah.
like yeah, they're there to work out as well. They're probably not even paying attention to you.
They're
They're
not.
focused on their
They're
own
really
workout.
Yeah. I mean, to answer your question though, Tony, at the beginning, like, how do you conquer something that's new?
not.
I
Mhm.
personally would try to break it down, if possible, like break it down into more manageable tasks. If there is
Got it.
something I can find like that's kind of close to what I had done before, then that is like something I'd lean toward. Like if I was going to the gym, or to use that example, like if there was maybe equipment that like I know how to use, like as opposed to like a brand new exercise that I have no idea how to do, I might like lean toward that first. And then build up, either my stamina or like learning a new exercise from that point. But for me, it is starting with stuff that I do know, or at least something similar to what I know. So then I can build up from there. And it is also a bit of that. What keeps me going too is like you have that small success in that regard too. It's like, oh, cool, I was able to get something done, and then you build up from there to another success, and then it'll keep going on and on and on, and then pretty soon, like all of those small accomplishments will just build up into something a lot greater. So that's how I look at it. Try to find something manageable, because again, I think you were mentioning it too, Tony. You don't want to overshoot and do something that's just completely impossible. So yeah, for me,
Being a little realistic.
yeah,
of what
yeah,
you
yeah.
can
I think you need to
get
be.
done. Yeah. I think also looking at things in terms of what I try to do with myself is even with tasks, because I know I saw from the comment section, Sister Rigi mentioned doing like to do lists, like your priorities for that day and like checking things off and being able to say, like, oh, this is what you're able to, so you can see that visually, right? But
Mhm.
even just looking at tasks themselves, like at least I got 50% done today. It might not have been the whole 100% done of the task, but at least it's 50%, which is better than 0%.
Yeah.
Like cracking at things in percentage wise, like you can tell yourself, oh, this is like probably 1/4 done. And I feel like that takes off some of the pressure sometimes, especially if that one task that you have to do, you know that you have to get it done, but the amount of time that you need to invest in it, or the amount of
Mhm.
energy that you need to invest in it, maybe maybe more than you even realize before you get into it. So kind of just telling yourself, if I can get at least a little bit done at a time, you're like, well, at least I'm like 5% closer, because we all have different energy levels every day, and there's different things that we're attending to. So kind of looking at it in that way has helped me with certain things. And I also saw from Sister Joanna, she mentioned support group chats, so they might not necessarily be in the same goal set. It helps if you're in the same goal set, but if you just have
Mhm.
your support people that you're sharing stuff with, like I started my new diet today. You're like, yay! And everyone's like sending gifs or different memes like go go go. Like that's already a huge thing that can totally help. Like find your people that can do that for
Mhm.
you. They might not have the same goal as you, but if they love you, of course, they'll support you in your goals. So yeah, something to think about. Anything else that you guys saw from the comment section that I might have missed? No?
A lot of
Whether it's like
greetings, a lot of greetings, and a
a lot
lot
of
of
greetings.
what do you call
I'm
it?
laughing at Conwell's
Hashtags.
comment because he said it can backfire. Like, yes, speaking from
Mhm.
experience, totally, totally. But I do want to ask, before we close out the discussion entirely, because the different tasks that we kind of have to tackle every day, they're towards different things. Whether it's for us personally, it could be for other people, it could be for our responsibilities, work, spiritual, all that stuff. Um, how do you get yourself to kind of revisit why you started in the first place? Like, how do you get yourself to kind of remember, oh, like that's why I had to do this thing? And because I feel like people tend to reset or find motivation again when they can remember their purpose for doing something. But how do you actually get yourself to remember why you're doing it when you're
Mhm.
kind of so into it, and maybe you're tired? How do you get yourself to remember, oh, this is why I'm doing this thing?
I
I mean, oh, go ahead, Nate. Go ahead, Nate.
we both had ideas. For me, I think it's also important, like when you initially set it up, to have that purpose right away, like to know if you need to like write it down. I know when I've in the past like had to start, or when I've started like diet plans, or like working with trainers to accomplish goals at the gym, that's one of the things that like I've heard from them, is to establish why you're doing it. And if you do have to write it down, fine. Like I'm also a visual person, so like having to write it down and display it, like whether that's like on a post-it or something, or I know, like, if you have a task like at work, you stick that post-it note on your monitor, right? Um, so at least you have a reminder present when things maybe get rough at times, or you do get overwhelmed. You're able to, see it and remind yourself, as opposed to it being crowded amongst the other things maybe that you have in your mind, like that could be overwhelming and could be, blocking out that purpose. So
Mhm.
for me, yeah, remind, like, having it established in the beginning, and then once you're kind of in that rut of, feeling lost, feeling stuck, try to recall that purpose in the beginning of, like, why you set out to do it. Like, for the workout example, if it is like to feel better about yourself at the end of the day, or you're preparing for a special event, maybe that could be like a wedding or like a family reunion, or you're going on vacation somewhere. Uh, Knowing that you have that goal in mind and revisiting how you felt when you set that goal at the beginning, for me, that does give me, a good reminder, and having that feeling reignited in a sense, um, that pushes me to keep going.
What about you, EJ? Before I
I'm
answer.
less on the like writing it down because I feel like I'm just gonna lose track of like where it is. But I'm more on like this is something I do where set a time to reflect on like my goals, like what I want to change, what I want to change about myself. And it reminds me like, I'm like, why am I working out? Working out tires me out so much. Well, it's because I want to make this change in myself. Why am I dieting? Like I want to eat more food. That's because I want to lose weight. Like reflecting on your whys, right? Why you like? Why are you doing this? Because this is what you wanted to change in yourself. Like I can't want to lose. I can't tell myself, "Oh, I really want to lose weight and not make a change in my diet because like my current diet was not working. Because like I was eating more than I was losing, so I had to change that. Like why do I feel why do I feel tired? Why do I feel weak? It's because I'm not really working out. I'm not exercising, spending a lot of time sitting down. So what did I need to change? Like what did I need to do? Like reminding myself like the why, and also reminding myself like the progress there. Like you've been consistently working out for this many months. You've been consistently dieting this many months. If you like, I'm telling myself that if I stop now, then all of that is gonna be for nothing. Yeah. So it's what helps me like stay motivated personally. I don't know what works for people, but like for you, find what works for you in terms of like reminding yourself and like reinvigorating that feeling of when you decided I want to start doing this. I want to make this change. You know.
I want to mention also from Brother Noel. They're saying in the for those who don't know, they're saying in the live chat panata, or which is devotional prayer. It's super important to set a devotional prayer for anything. The the smallest, simplest thing that you can
Mm,
think of, it super helps because I feel like it helps you refocus, especially after you have it. Like when you get to have that conversation and be like, basically what you said, EJ, that reflection, but you're also doing it with God. You kind of had that
mhm,
moment where you're like, is this something that's still, good for, my life in all aspects, and being able to set aside that time just for that specific thing, it helps you
mhm,
really, it brings a lot of clarity, I feel. And for me personally, when it comes to getting things done, I try before I start the thing, I I tell myself what I want to get out of it, if that makes sense. Like, let's say there's a thing I have to present, there's something that I have to do in front of a bunch of people. It
mhm,
still gives me the butterflies, even though it may not seem that way to those who are always tuning into us. It makes us nervous, but you kind of tell yourself in your mind, I want to be able to give something in this moment. I want it to be able to learn something from this moment. I want you kind of tell yourself what you want to do, what your intention is. So that sets you up for how you will then move in that moment. It could be, let's say, you're meeting up with someone for the first time, and you're trying to work on this project together, and you're really nervous. Like if you're at work, it happens a lot. You don't know these people, and you have to like do things together, and you're like, I want to be able to do a good job for my company. I want to be able to do a good job for, my coworkers, even though it's scary. You kind of tell yourself what you want to do. So then all the more by telling yourself that, then you can feel more confident moving in that way. If that makes sense. That's what I've been trying to do with myself. It's like I'm psyching myself out almost. Like, this is what you're going to do. So let's do it. We're going to do 5% today. We'll do 10 and then take naps. Take naps in between. Get like that power nap of 9 minutes if you can. It helps.
Motivation, right? Like that, which is actually what our CSD word for this is your sign. So let's see what our what the sign is for motivation or motivate.
This is your sign.
For this week, this is your sign. We're going to be signing the word motivate or motivation. It's the same sign. And what you're going to do, clasp your hands together like this, and then you're going to rub your hands back and forth like this, like you're about to prepare someone to be motivated. That's it. Now you know how to sign the word motivate or motivation. Thank you so much for joining us in this week's Sign of the Week, and hope to see you again next time. Thank you.
This is your sign.
Thank you. This is a very, very easy sign to remember. That's the word for motivate or motivation. Like you said, it's like, you're trying to motivate someone. But let's see now, speaking of motivation, we have a lot of activities, right, that we have had. Well, one big activity we had this week, and we also have a lot more coming up. So let's see what activities we had, and we are still going to have CFO in action. And let's see. As for our recent activity, I should say, it was our Neighborhood Appreciation Day from different locales. This is in Bloomingdale.
Yep, we cleaned up a park.
Park cleanup, and we also have, this is Chicago, where I think they gave out, like they handed out free.
Chicago. They gave out supplies. Like school supplies and similar.
Yes, which I think is also what Cincinnati did, along with giving free food. Move on to Cleveland. A lot of these are food related. We like feeding people here in the Midwest. And also in Grand Rapids as well.
I mean, it's also great opportunities to share our faith too for those passing by.
And Lake County handed out school supplies. They handed out school supplies and it's for each other as well. And in Milwaukee, barbecue. They have barbecue. Sorry, I got distracted by the barbecue. In Naperville, they also had food or supplies and is that food as well? They also have Park Rouge.
It looks like they reached out to local hospital workers, so kind of.
And in Rockford, we also we ended up burgers and hot dogs for hours. And in Sterling Heights did food stuff.
Sorry, Sterling Heights. We did school supplies and groceries. School supplies and groceries. Yeah.
The essentials. We also have our unit gifts coming up. Softball edition. That'll be on August 16, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time in Glendale Heights, Illinois. And we have our musical evangelical mission on August 31, 2025. I hope you're all looking forward to the different performances that we're going to have today. And we do enjoy your company. Thank you for joining us here today in our show for INCRadio Northern Midwest. And we think they all enjoy it and maybe learn something. But before we end our show, we do want to say thank you to people who make our show possible. First off, to our district ministers here in the Great Lakes, Brother Arthur P. Agat, our Assistant District Minister, and Brother Omar A. Sarmiento, our District Minister. And we do want to say a special thanks to Brother Wally Paray, our INCRadio station manager, and a very special thanks to Brother Angelo Aranyo V. Manalo, our Deputy Executive Minister, and Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Executive Minister. Thank you for making our show possible. And to everyone there in our live chat, we hope you have an awesome day. Stay phenomenal, be phenomenal. I will see you again next Saturday. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
This is INCRadio, DZEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.